Welcome to Madison City Channel's Know Your Candidates interviews, co-sponsored by the League of Women Voters of Dane County. I'm your interviewer, Michael Rosenberg, and I would like to introduce Stephen Peters, running for Dane County Supervisor in District 15. As we begin, I'd like you to give an opening statement as to your educational, vocational, and civic experience, which qualifies you for this office, and why you are running for the Dane County Board.
Well, hi, my name is Stephen Peters, and I'm running for the Dane County Board because I believe that our district out on the far southwest side of Madison and town of Middleton need representation that will be listening to all voters and kind of reaching out and being that voice for the southwest side that has been absent for the past couple of years. I currently am a research assistant for the Wisconsin State Assembly, where I've worked for 10 years in government, being someone who listens to constituents from all over the state and kind of helps them navigate state government. I believe that I'm qualified for this because, well, I'm a good listener, and frankly, I care about my community and what goes on in it. I think that the Dane County Board needs to work on better fostering issues on environmental, better fostering environmental issues, as well as reaching out and being a force to promote good family supporting jobs.
Thank you. Lack of affordable housing and the pressure it brings to the issue of homelessness is a chronic problem that Dane County cannot seem to get ahead of. What do you believe should be the board's priorities for these issues?
Well, I believe that the board needs to look at all options as far as encouraging development, that both infill development and new development on the edges of town, that kind of, or edges of the city, that offers incentives to provide housing that is not out of the range of kind of the average family. Too much there are families who are just beyond, housing in Madison has gotten beyond their ability to afford. There needs to be communications with the actual communities to find out what people's needs are and work forward from there.
With the growth and spread of population in Dane County, what do you believe are the most significant transportation and environmental issues facing the Dane County Board, and how do you think these issues need to be addressed?
Obviously, living out kind of on the boundary of growth, this is a very important issue in our district. I think that we need to have sensible and smart transportation options that directly address the needs both of those who are out beyond the city limits and those who are well within the city limits. I think we need to make sure that transit is an option, but that also we are not ignoring the quality of roads and the traffic situation that exists out in the suburbs. I think that environmentally we need to be very conscious of how fast we are growing and need to make sure that there are natural places set aside as growth continues in a responsible manner.
What public safety issue or issues do you believe are most pressing that need the attention of the Dane County Board?
I think as far as that's concerned, it all comes down to communication within neighborhoods. I think that every neighborhood is different, and a one-size-fits-all kind of solution is never going to work for a community or a county as diverse as Dane County. The needs downtown are different than the needs by Albert Park, which are different than the needs out in the town of Middleton. And we need to kind of make sure that we're working with the Sheriff's Department to address these on a case-by-case basis.
What do you believe is the specific issue of most concern to the residents of your district, and how do you want to work on solving it?
I think that access to family supporting jobs is the baseline issue that affects the most people in my district. I think from there, issues of crime, issues of transportation, issues of healthcare, they all stem from the lack of jobs that are available to the people, jobs that can actually support a family that are available to people in the community. I think the board needs to work to encourage the kind of business growth in the district that will create these sorts of jobs and offer and kind of push towards the kind of improvements in infrastructure that will draw these companies in.
What one or two personal qualities do you have that will make you the best representative for the Dane County Board for your district residents?
Well, as I kind of alluded to earlier, I've been kind of a career listener. In my role in the legislature, I have been the kind of person who will take people from all walks of life and all points of view, bring them together, and help them to kind of get to a solution that everyone's comfortable with. And I think that in particular is something that I think will help me work with the existing board members rather than be adversarial in my relationship with them. I think I have the temperament to reach out to those from the Isthmus, from the East Side, and kind of make them understand why our little corner of the West Side is important.
Which board committees do you believe you should serve on and why?
Well, I have a lot of varied interests, and I think that most of the committees that deal most with zoning and transportation are vital to my district, as well as I have my own interests in environmental issues, as well as the health and safety of our lakes. And I think I want to move myself towards committees that are environmental in nature, and I have a deep interest in the Airport Commission because I think that's a great conduit through which we can grow our county in smart ways.
How do you envision, as a Dane County Board Supervisor, working with other municipal officials within Dane County?
I've worked on developing a strong relationship with Alderwoman Barbara McKinney, and I think that we have a good working relationship so far. Just in general, as someone who has been around elected officials for most of his adult life, I have an ability to speak kind of on their level, and I say there as if someone who's not running for office myself, but understand what's important to elected officials and how to best work to benefit both my district and theirs and move forward.
What would you like to say to the viewing audience for your closing statement?
Well, I would just like to say that I can be the kind of representative that our district needs. I can be an individual who will be accessible, open, and listen to your concerns. For too long, this district has been represented by someone who did not work well with the existing board members, and I think that was to the detriment of our community. I want to be someone who will focus on our community rather than my own politics.
I want to thank Stephen Peters for speaking with us and the viewing audience for taking the time to know your candidates. As with every election, please vote. On behalf of Madison City Channel and the League of Women Voters of Dane County, I thank you for joining us.